Everybody, this is Mr. Crandall. We are on day 3, page 2, week 1 of our packet. Once again, day 3, page 2, week 1 of our packet. Telling time. Directions, write the correct time. Now, this is something I didn't get to in class because we all had to, go home for a long time. So I'm going to do a quick introduction to telling time, and then we will move on. So before I continue, now there are two main types of clocks that most people refer to. There might be some more, but these are the two main ones that most people talk about when they talk about clocks. You have the ones that look like this, where they have a long line on them, a shorter line on them, and sometimes a very thin line that helps you know the time. They also sometimes have numbers on them. 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oop, my 6 is off. 6. Uh-oh. Open something I didn't mean to open. Weird. 6 right down here. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Can't have 12 twice. That doesn't make any sense. We'll move the 11 up a little bit. These are called analog clocks. Analog clocks have hands. That's what those little lines are called. Now, we have different types of hands here. We have the minute hand, the hour hand, and the second hand. Now, some clocks don't have the second hand. Some clocks don't have the minute hand. Some clocks don't have the hour hand. You sort of have to tell based on the numbers. But anyway, the important part right now is that these are called analog. And the one that you are more familiar with is the ones that just have numbers. 1205. That would be digital. Now, while an analog clock has little hands on it, digital just has the digits. That's how you can remember digital versus analog. Digital has digits, analog has hands. Digital has digits, analog has hands. Digital has digital, digital has digits, has digits, has digits, has digits, and analog has hands. All right, so real quick before we start, I'm going to go to an interactive clock right here. First, I'm going to set it to 12 o'clock, just like in my drawing. Bink. And let's move the hands around. There we go. As you can see, at 12 a.m., both the minute hand and the hour hand are in the same spot. Oh, but you can't tell because the hour hand is covered. The orange one I am moving right now with my finger. Woo, see the orange one? Pointing between to 5 and then 6. That is the hour hand. As it moves, it goes from hour to hour, starting at 12. And it's weird thing about the clock is they start at 12 and then go back to 1 and then go all the way to 12 again and then go back to 1. So 12, so this is 12 o'clock. 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60. But there's no 60. In fact, if you look at the number at the right, so technically it starts with 0 and goes all the way to 59 over here. And once it gets to 60, it goes back 0. And so that way you can tell by counting by 5s where the hands are. 0, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60. But since it's 60, it goes to 0. And you can also have seconds. Now, I don't have any seconds on here right now, so I'm going to set it to the real time. Right now, it's about 4:35. But you'll see there's also a blue hand moving right there. That is our second hand. You can see that the second hand is long and thin, and it moves much, much faster. In fact, you can see that the ones that you can see you can see that if you stare at it long enough, the second hand's easy to see moving, but it's really hard to see the minute hand moving or the hour hand. So second hand is long and thin, minute hand is long and fat, hour hand is short and fat. Right now, it is 4:36 and 30 seconds. I'm going to press this random button over here, and we're going to see if we can tell what time it is. And go. Now, it says 8:29 up there, but how do we know it's 8:29? Well, let's see. We go to 5. Got to move this thing out of the way. It was 8:29. 5 is 25. So we go 0, 5, 10, 20, 30, 30 5, 10, 20, 30. Sorry. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Oh, it wasn't 38. It was 29. We go back one. And like I said, this is just an introduction. Basically, if the green hand is pointing to one of the numbers, it's on a multiple of 5. So if it's right here, then it's at 5, 0, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. Ooh, a little fast. There we go, 40. If the number is here, then it's at 5, 15, 45. Now, like I said, just an introduction. Let's go over some of the answers. Here we go. Let's move my face out of the way so you can see a little better and wonder why my computer is not working. There it is, telling time. Write the correct time. I just pressed the reload button, which might have some weird effect on this. So let's zoom way in. While we wait for Mr. Crandall's computer. There we go. All right, so we can see that the hour hand is just a little bit past 12, and the minute hand is on the 1. If the minute hand is on the 1s, remember it goes 5, 10, 15, 20, like that. So the minute hand is on the 5, and the way we write that, we don't just write 5, we write 0, 5. And with the big hand, with the hour hand pointing just past the 12, it's actually at 12. If the number is on the number, that means it is that number. If it is just past that number, it is every number behind it. I know that sounds really odd, so let me try a better way to say it. If this hour hand is right here, then it's on 12. If it's right here, then it's on 12. If it's right here, then it's on 12. But if it's right here on the 1, then it's on 1. In other words, everything in this spot sends it back to this spot except for the next number. Once it gets to the next number, it is always back to that next number. So for example, if it's right here, then it's actually at 1. If it's right here, it's at 2. Right here, 3. Right here, 4. Right here on the 5, it's a 5. Right here, 5. Right here, 6. Right here, makes sense. I'm sorry, guys. Like I said, I normally would have spent a long time in class teaching this, but I ran out of time. On the 12, it is 12:05. Moving to the next one. First, let's find the minute hand. Remember, it goes 0, 5, 10. And remember, the minute hand is the longer one. 20. The minute hand is on the 5. So that means, once again, it's on 5. And the hour hand is just a little bit, just a tiny bit past the 1. And that means it's actually 1. If it was here, it would be 1. Here it'd be 1. Here it'd be 1. Here it'd be 2. As soon as it touches the next number, it is the bigger number. But everything else, it goes back that way. So it is actually 1:05. You could also do this, but usually we don't write the 0. Remember, 0 is the the invisible number that's in front of almost every number. Let's go on the next one. So this one, let's start with the minute hand. The minute hand start with 0, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Okay, so we can see that the minute hand is at 25. And we can see that the hour hand is just past the 4, which means it's actually still at 4. Remember? 4, 4, 4. Oh, it hit the 5, then it's 5. As soon as it goes past the number, it's the next number. But everything before it, 4, 4, 4. Once again, it is 4:25. 4:25. All right, friends, good luck on that. I don't want to do all of them for you, but you can do it. I strongly recommend you do the minute hand first and then the hour. Have a great day.